What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. So I just finished watching episode 1 of season 2 of The Boys. Where do I freaking begin? As expected, this started out pretty darn crazy. Somebody in the beginning is going around just killing what seems to be terrorists, almost like they're an assassin. And then after a few killings, we see that it's Black Noir. And after he sliced off one of the dude's heads, he's gonna go past another room where a kid is. A kid that's probably like 4 years old. He's staring at them as he still has the head in his hand. He picks up his little stuffed animal and starts kind of singing around to him. Like, it was the sickest thing. I was just like, that is so sick. That is so sick. Okay? Now, Translucent gets a funeral. And of course, Homelander being Homelander, his fake tears and his BS speeches, he just gets on my nerves. But clearly everybody's sick of everybody. So we see that this is starting out. We don't know where Butcher. We see Starlight doing her thing, but then she's kind of just taking off her costume and everything after she finishes with the whole funeral situation. Huey is seen waking up in a bed in what looks like somebody's janitor's closet. The Deep is really in deep. Like, he is in sorrow. You see him at a bar watching the funeral on the TV while he's sitting there drinking and he's going crazy. Not so much because of the funeral, but he notices that there's a picture with Homelander and Translucent and they cut him out the picture. So that pisses him off. He gets kicked out the bar. So then now we see Huey walking through this underground, whatever he is. We see people packing drugs and dudes with guns, and then you see fixing up, taking somebody's bullet out, and I'm like, where are they? Apparently they're in this underground store hiding out. So long story short, of course, we know that Butcher found out that his wife is alive. And so is Homelander's son. But now we see like the head guy that gave Madeline that big bonus. He's now like the head of everything. So he's running things basically, right? So Homelander hired that assistant that I couldn't stand, that was Madeline's assistant, to come back in. But she's clearly terrified of him. And she's basically like, I found this person or whatever to fill in for Translucent, to be part of the 7. And he's like, what? Really? Wow, well, where is he? She's like, he's here. He's training. You want to meet him? Sure. They go, and this dude looks like he's like between acrobats and doing his thing, but he's blind. And he's like practicing with his stabs and everything. Like, he looks like pretty thorough. He walks up to Homelander, and even though he's blind, he knows that it's Homelander. So Homelander knows that he is blind. He walks up to him and he's like, okay, so what happens if I do this? He literally bongs this dude's head with both of his hands, making his ears bleed profusely. And I was just like, oh my God. Whoa. Oh, and let's not forget that during the fight scene in the beginning where this dude, sorry you guys about the alarm, where this guy is apparently, killing everyone, he at one point takes a dude's face and literally like rips his whole mouth open. It was so disgusting. I'm like, holy shit. Oh my gosh. So anyway, So now we're kind of starting to see there's in this warehouse or whatever this was that Black Noir was in, there was obviously uh, a soup terrorist. So he tried to blow him up, and he saw that they were both still standing in the room after he exploded. So I was just like, oh boy, that's whose head he cut off. So anyway, moving right along. So there's another soup terrorist on the loose, because down comes one of the guys with, I guess they're Haitian guys. He comes down with one of his friends. His arm is basically like eaten off. Like, not eaten off, but all you see is bones. So they find out that there's a soup terrorist who literally lifted a boat and threw it at him. Nobody knows where he is at this point. Nobody knows what he looks like. Nobody knows who he is. Anyway, so now Starlight has to go and try to find Compound V. A-Train is still alive. He's just hooked up to a whole bunch of tubes. Where? We don't know. Probably Vault. Yeah. I didn't know what was gonna happen with him, but he's alive. Barely, I guess. So anyway, so they're Huey and Starlight aren't together apparently, but they met up on the train, and he basically I guess there must have been talks about her trying to get Compound V, or maybe this happened later, but she meets up with an old friend who is also a soup, but I don't know what he is. He apparently gets money from people chopping his body parts off because he can regenerate. It was so nasty. So he took this dude to a freaking, what looked like a motel, chopped his hand off, and it just regenerated right there. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So Starlight took a video of that and made him go get, well, we don't know if he's going to get it or not, but he's going to go get Compound V for her so they can take down Vought. That's where that ended right there. So now the whole crew is trying to figure out what they're going to do next, because they are all over the news. They're wanted. So Huey's idea was to try to get Compound V to the director of the CIA. So MM is not hearing it. He's like, you know what? We just need to get out of here. We just need to go. We need to escape. I'm trying to get home to my family. I'm not trying to be dragged onto this. So they listen to Huey because Butcher's still not around. And so they eventually meet up with the lady, Rainer, and they're standing there talking. And she's like, I'm trying to, are you sure about this? So MM describes the soup terrorist that he saw to her. And she's just like, I've been trying to piece this all together, and it seems like you just handed me the missing piece. And then immediately her nose started bleeding, and as she's standing there, her freaking head explodes. And I was just like, where and who and why did that just happen? Like, at first I was like, is that like another soup that's acting like her, that's kind of like a replica of her? Or like, nah, that was really her. Her head exploded. So now MM is on this whole I told you so situation. Huey's bugging out. But now they can't really do much of anything, even if they get Compound V, because they don't have anybody to give it to. So MM feels like that was not meant for them. That was meant for her. Maybe she said something she wasn't supposed to say. Who knows? That's where that ended. So they're cleaning themselves off. And at the end of this episode, some random guy falls down the stairs, and behind him, here comes Butcher. So now Butcher is back. Now the real fun begins, I assume. So this has been one heck of an episode already for season 2 of The Boys. So stay tuned tomorrow for my reaction and my review for episode 2, season 2 of The Boys. Leave your comments down below. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you enjoyed episode 1 of season 2. Let me know if you guys enjoyed my review, what you guys think of episode 2. I just can only imagine. Oh, let's not talk about how creepy Homelander was when he went back to Madeline's old office and he found a frozen bottle of baby formula. And the way he was drinking it was almost as if it was so nasty, because it's like, ew, like, is he acting like it was her boob or something? Like, it was just so disgusting, and he drank it. Like, he warmed it up with his eyes and drank it. It was just so disgusting. Oh, and there's a new guy. His name is Eagle Arrow or something like that. He apparently comes to the Deep's rescue with another lady who state that they can kind of help him get back into the Seven. I'm not quite sure about that, and I'm not quite sure about him, but we're just gonna have to find out how that unfolds. But anyway, leave your comments down below. If you haven't done so, subscribe to my channel, hit like, share, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you guys can get notified whenever I pop up on your feed. I'll see you guys later. Toodles!